We wanted to check in on the market. We wanted to check in on our strategy. And then we wanted to check in on our messaging. Our messaging is what's going to help us in the summer plant the seeds for a bumper crop. The bumper crop is a second set of sales in the second half of the year, but you got to plant some seeds. How are you going to do that? The way to plant the seeds, my friends, is to think about your marketing message and take advantage of one of the coolest new technologies out there right now, artificial intelligence. Except that, to me, the real definition of artificial intelligence, of AI, isn't necessarily artificial intelligence. I think the real definition of AI is to send messages that are always inspiring. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you. Let's say you wanted to plant some seeds in the mind of consumers, that the market's okay, that there's a growth opportunity, that maybe in the fall they do want to enter into the market. That's going to take some time. And it's going to take some repetition. You're going to need to send the message multiple times to your target and to your sphere, and you want to do so in a way that eventually it sinks in. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I were to look at a successful Facebook post that I did really well on its own. It's a good message. I posted this back in April, and it got some fairly good traffic, right? I got about 50 or 51 likes, some comments, and some shares. Okay, that's great. And I want to say to myself, how could I take advantage of the fact that was well received? It got some engagement, but I don't want to just post it again and again, because if I do, social media algorithm's going to know that I'm just repeating myself, and it's going to bury it. It's not going to be any good. What could I do to be able to repeat a message? Now, why do I care about repeating a message? Number one, because it usually takes 7 or more times for a consumer to recognize a message. Right? That's the old rule of 7 that's been around since the 1930s in marketing. You got to say something 7 or more times. So this summer, you've got to repeat positive messages 7 or more times to plant the seeds for some of those prospecting calls you'll make in September, October, and November. And number 2, social media loves to bury your content these days, right? It is not your friend. I have, by the way, just to be clear, I have more than 3,600 friends and over 9,300 followers, and only 51 people saw my post, right? I have well over 12,000 connections on Facebook, but only 53 people saw my post. Social media, it gives you a lot of opportunity, but it's not your friend. It's not your friend. So what you've got to figure out is, how do I repeat a message on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube? How do I repeat a message without looking like I'm repeating it and the algorithm burying it even further? That is where, my friends, you fight AI with AI. In order to fight the algorithm, you're going to do something really tricky. Watch what I do on page 9 in your handout. I take a great post that has the message I want people to hear and got a little traction. I then go over to my AI. Now, I use Copilot because it's built into Microsoft. It's a no-brainer for me. It's super easy. You could use ChatGPT, whatever you like. Doesn't matter. And here's the prompt I gave it. I said, hey, Copilot, read this social media post. It did pretty well. It got some comments and shares. Create 3 more posts that are similar in style, content, and objective, and are emotionally poignant, but less than 500 words. And then I just pasted the post in. Now, I wrote the post by hand the very first time. It came to me, I wrote it, it did okay, but I had 12,000 followers and only 51 people. That was not good enough for me. So I gave it to Copilot, and Copilot said, okay, look at page 10. It said, here are 3 versions of it, 3 variations of the same post. So it took the same ideas and it just did a little wordsmithing and maybe added in some content. Now, I just want to be cautious here. I'm not going to post them as is. I'm going to use them as drafts. I'm going to say thank you for those idea starters, for those draft variations of a successful ad. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to just tweak the words. I'm going to make it sound like me, maybe add in a little bit of different vocabulary. And in my case, I'm going to add a photo to it because I think photos also bring some attention to it. And I want you to look at what happened. I took one of them, the very top one, which says build trust, not walls. Build trust, not walls was Copilot's idea of my version of the successful social media post. I put it online with a photograph. So I took a photograph and I took a piece of the sentence from Copilot. Copilot said, a strong foundation isn't made of concrete, is made of character. Mind blowing. And I was like, that was cool. And I dropped it into Facebook just 3 days later. And look at what happened. It got 113 likes, 15 comments, and 10 shares. It literally outperformed my original, which I don't know what to think about. I'm not entirely happy about that, but I'm very happy about that because it fooled the Facebook algorithm into giving it more traffic. And so the bottom line is this: you're going to have to learn to stick to your messaging this summer, to plant the seeds for a fall harvest. And you can't just post the same thing over and over again, but AI can help you make variations on the theme. Hi, everyone. It's Matthew Ferrara. I've built this newsletter as a special place where optimism, positivity, inspiration, good stories, and great ideas all come together to help you move closer to whatever goals you desire. I encourage you to upgrade so you can get access to hundreds of posts, webinars, workshops, and other resources. Choose a monthly subscription, or you can upgrade to the insider level, which gives you unlimited access plus guaranteed attendance in all of our live virtual masterminds. Success starts by believing you're worth it. I believe you're worth it, and I hope you do too.